We are live on the Honest Hustler channel. Welcome back to another episode of Honest Takes. I'm with the big fish himself, the drunk tuna. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good to see you. Thanks for having me back on. Making a guest appearance once again, but ready to rock, talk some shop.
Man, you're no longer a guest, bro. You are here weekly. It's just now we're gonna get you for an elongated period of time, and I think that the viewership should take advantage of that because Tango with tuna, you dance there, it gets a little spicy. Things usually get a little fun. Before we jump into week 10, though, let's talk about last week, man. There was some crazy shit that happened. The show was kind of a mess. Also, we're not doing college football this week, so we've been getting our ass kicked on college football. So we're taking a little bit of a breather. I know you're never a part of that, but personally, I needed a breather from college football this week. I can never figure it out. Sorry to talk my ass off. Anyways, week 9 last week, some crazy shit happened. I'm going to go ahead and start with my team first. What the hell happened to the Dallas Cowboys?
Wow, that was a rough showing, dude. Honestly, nobody could have predicted that. Last week was full of upsets, to be honest, and Dallas was just one of the biggest letdowns last week. I was shocked that they came out and showed like that.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's rough. Dak Prescott didn't look like himself. It looked like maybe he wasn't fully 100% healthy. But I don't want to discredit the Broncos. They came out, they played great defense, very aggressive. They found a way to run the football aggressively. Teddy Baba Bridgewater threw the ball around and didn't have any turnovers or any picks. So I was impressed with the way they played. We also had a Kyler Murray list, DeAndre Hopkins list, but James Conner hot steaming Arizona Cardinals against the 49ers, man. That caught me off guard.
Man, yeah, just reiterating, I mean, last week was a week of upsets. And I mean, just before we transition over to the Cardinals, I want to say this about the Broncos and one little piece that I have, just kind of a brain dump, so to speak. But I
Yeah,
think
that's weird.
I think Javonte Williams is on the same career ascension as Jonathan Taylor. It's really
Oh
similar
wow.
to me. Yeah, and honestly, last year they've shown like that same exact trajectory, and I feel like once he takes the full reins of that Broncos backfield, probably late at the end of this year, he's going to be a star, and next year he's going to be a fantasy superstar. He's going to be a boss. So keep an eye out
So
for him.
who do you think? You think that the Broncos like really figure out this Aaron Rodgers thing? Like, you think that's realistic?
They get a quarterback
Or do you
that
think,
seems.
or do you think that's like a, do you think that's like a Twitter pipe dream?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of veteran quarterbacks that could be going there. I mean, we've got Rodgers, Wilson, Watson, if he figures out the allegations. I mean, we got a few different scenarios, but I think a lot of teams are going to be in the hunt for a veteran quarterback next year. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out.
For sure. So Cardinals, man, I think what was crazy for me in that Cardinals and Niners game, it was kind of cool to see James Conner back in a dominant state. And if you know me or you hang out with me outside of the show and we talk sports, I give my Cardinal friends that are fans a really hard time. I'm like, yeah, you guys are really good, but what are you going to do when it comes to the crunch time? Who are you going to hand the ball off to? Well, they kind of shut me up last week and gave a little bit of an answer to that, and it's James Conner. I mean, it looks like this kid's ready to take the load again for this team. And the Cardinals kind of have that mentality right now. Like, we don't really care. Like, Kyler can sit this week, so can DeAndre. Like, we trust Colt and whatever else we have. We have firepower, and we trust our defense to make plays. They're impressing me, and it's kind of crazy.
No, you're totally right. Honestly, I think they're. I mean, something that we can't really see like on our side is the locker room. You know how they're really gelling, and honestly, I mean that's the only explanation that I have for it at this point because that defense is clicking and the offense didn't really miss a beat. It's pretty surprising, and I mean I've always been on the Cardinal hater train to my friend's chagrin as well. But you're right. I think the Cardinals got something a little special going on. I think I still won't believe on them in the playoffs, but hey, that's me.
Right. I hear you. I hear you. Well, let's jump forward to week 10, man. That's where we're at. That's why the people are here. They want to know who to pick. They want to know what to do. We already had a really weird game in the Baltimore Ravens and Miami Dolphins. Believe it or not, for people who did reach out to me, I did suggest to take the Dolphins and the points. I did not take that bet myself. I laid off that game, but it was a suggested pick that I gave out. I will give my reasons why, but what do you think about that game?
Gosh, I mean, the more I looked into it, the Dolphins had a really good game plan from what I saw as far as what really works against Baltimore. Since he was showing a lot of cover zero, just playing man, blitzing Lamar Jackson, and those receivers aren't necessarily getting enough separation. And I think that's going to be the
Yeah.
blueprint against Baltimore until they figure it out. And we're going to see how it goes. But Miami's defense is starting to make a little bit of a turn. And I still believe in the Ravens, though. They're really well head coached. It was a weird game. And honestly, I was just kind of like, all right, this is not what I expected on Thursday Night
You
Football.
know,
But hey,
I'm
we're here.
I'm actually gonna take the opposition on that. I think the Ravens are very hype. I think I saw a vote on Twitter that said who's a better quarterback right now, Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes? And I'm like, you can't be kidding me. I mean, if you really want to have that conversation or talk about it, look, not being biased, the Chiefs are a win, maybe 2 wins away from being right back where they always were going to be. And the Ravens, I mean, man, they barely squeaked away against the Vikings last week. The Ravens didn't win that game. The Vikings lost. They were beating them the whole game. The week before that, they got absolutely torched by Joe Burrow and the Bengals. And then they go into Miami and they lose. I mean, to me, the problem's a little bit deeper than what people are looking at and want to see. But that's still to be unwritten and untold. So we'll see. But let's get into these picks, man. There's a lot of juice ones on the board. I know you really love the board this week. You told me before we got on here. Let's talk about a lot of games, man. I mean, it's exciting. Why don't you dive into an 11 a.m. game for me? Give me a morning game. What do you got?
Well, I kind of just want to like touch in on each one of these. I think that would probably be pretty helpful just to see like the thought process. I mean, we're about halfway through the season right now. I kind of want to see your thoughts on some teams too.
Sure.
The first one I've got at 11 a.m. is Indy and Jacksonville. Spreads 10
Okay.
and a half. Indy at home.
Okay.
And I think Indianapolis is a good team. They're getting T.Y. Hilton back. And I think last week Jacksonville shut down Josh Allen, but they suck. I mean, let's be honest. I
Right.
mean, when I look at games, I don't just go, who do I like to win? I also think, who do I like to lose? You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Right.
Jacksonville's a loser, just franchise, dude. They suck. Like, how do you turn Trevor Lawrence into a guy who looks like, I don't know, Dan Orlovsky? You know, he's running out the back of the end zone. They suck.
It's damn near impossible. I feel you.
But if I was betting on that game, I'd be taking Indy to cover the spread, and because Vegas
Yeah,
usually.
I definitely agree, man. I think they should definitely and what I see here is that they've kind of figured out what I've known and what probably a lot of people have, even they known, but they finally got it to click is that hello, Jonathan Taylor is a superstar in this league. Get that guy the ball outside the tackles with a blocker or two, whether it's a pitch, a run, a misdirection, a screen, and he's gonna take off and he's gonna run. Now I know he's got some health issues, so that'll be for a different conversation later. Right now, he's rocking and rolling. I definitely wholeheartedly agree with you there. I don't really tango with the over unders there. It's 47 and a half. If I had to pick on that game, I honestly probably might take the under. I could see the Colts winning this game like 28-10.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I mean, I don't see Jacksonville scoring many points, and that's something you got to think about is, are you really banking on the other team to score? And in this scenario, I don't think that's the case. But you're right about Indy. They're ascending. Pittman, the offensive line's getting healthy. Carson Wentz doesn't
Pittman's a
look as.
stud, bro.
Yeah, they look pretty good. But next one I got is New England and Cleveland, and I think we're a little split on this one.
I don't necessarily think we're split, bro. I just think that Cleveland's proven that they're a really good team, but so has New England. Like, that's actually a game I'm really sad my Cowboys play at the same time, but I'll definitely have them both on. I'm excited to watch this one.
Yeah, honestly, New England's they're clicking a little bit right now. They're finally figuring it out, just from a defense perspective. And these offenses are very similar to me. They're methodical. It's not about the player; it's about the system. They're really just looking for the open read and getting through their progressions. And with Cleveland's running back situation this week, I really like New England to cover. That's one of my picks for sure.
I mean, New England has the same running back situation, though, bro. They have two running backs that are out, and you've got Brandon Bolden there. Brandon Bolden is a very good running back. Don't get me wrong, but he's not a between the tackles runner. He's not. He is a receiving running back. So for me, I love Cleveland's defense in this matchup, and I think what we're gonna see here is which team, this is like probably like one of the most exciting games I feel like to date for the season. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's just like we're really going to see what both teams have and are made of. Yeah, it'd be nice to have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb and do all that, but I don't know how much that changes for the Browns because I do think that Ernest Johnson runs the football well, and I do think that like they've got this like juice now that OBJ's gone that they're a little like we want to prove it. So if I'm a better, I am staying away from this game. I'm not picking the Browns. I'm not picking the Patriots. And I'm not picking an over or under because these teams could easily go for whatever the tone's set with. If the first drive is a touchdown from the Patriots or the Browns, probably going to get a touchdown coming back. If it's a punt, it's probably going to be a punt. Like I think they're gonna match whatever the energy comes with.
They are very similar, you're right. And I mean, a lot of it could boil down to special teams, something crazy, you're right. It's a tough one to call. Personally, I just think New England at home, and I think Cleveland relies a little bit more on their running backs than New England does. But no, you're totally right. I mean, this is going to
So
be a
let's
good
do
game.
this for the hell of it. Let's just do this. The first game that we did, we both had the Colts to cover, right? That was our pick for the game, right? Now we're on to New England and Cleveland, right? We're only going to do spreads, no money line picks. Just for the competition. If you say you like the spread, go ahead. You got the Patriots on this one. I got the Browns. We're gonna go tally them up at the end of the week. I'll take the Browns for this one, and we'll see. We'll see how that one ends up rolling out.
Nice, we'll do it. Yeah, and I've got the spread for those betting, so mark that one in the books. Next one's Atlanta and Dallas. What do you think?
I was telling you yesterday when we were on the phone, man. I was just like, look, like it feels like a lot of points. It just feels like a lot. Like, yeah, the Cowboys defense has made some turnovers, but I knew that Trayvon Diggs' situation was going to cool down as a Cowboys fan, realistically. And since then, we have some good pressure and pass rush and stuff. But we're in a weird spot right now. We'll probably undoubtedly we win the division. The Dallas Cowboys win the NFC East. When I say we, I'm a Cowboys fan. Forgive me. The Cowboys win the NFC East, but they're in this weird spot right now where I feel like Atlanta is coming back. If you watch, do you know how many they've won in a row? It's a few, isn't it?
2 or 3, yeah. Oh, actually, no, they lost to Carolina a couple weeks back.
That's right.
But they have been playing a lot better. But the line has been moving. This was Dallas to cover 9 or 10 early in the week.
9.5, yes.
7.5 now. And
yeah, I've seen it at 7.5. That's what I was gonna say.
Public money's coming in on Atlanta, and I think the reason for that is exactly what you just described. Is they're starting to turn it around a little bit, and Dallas looked bad last week. But to be honest, I think that this is a get right game for the Cowboys. Like, you better watch out; they might put up 40 points.
Hey man, I love to hear it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna leave that at that one for you because I got nothing else to say for that one, man. But for
with the spread, but expect some fireworks. I mean, let's go high on the over.
so let's say this and for our little keep the tallies, you got to make a pick. Are you taking Dallas to cover 8.5, or are you taking Atlanta plus 8.5?
Dallas to cover. They're gonna get right.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take the same thing because I'd never take Dallas to lose. So call that one what it is. Take it for what it's worth. If you're watching this, I'll never pick against the Cowboys. What game do you have next on your slate?
I've got Buffalo and New York. The Jets. They're starting Mike White, and the spread I've got is Mikey White. They chant his name in the locker room. You know what I mean? They love Mike White.
I love Mike White.
Favorite. What do you think about that?
Buffalo's covering that spread. I'm sorry, Mike White. I feel like it's a get right game for Buffalo too. I mean, they just had that game against the Jags that nobody saw coming. It was just like what the hell. And I just think that Josh Allen, he came out and he said he played like shit. He was pissed off. And I think it's just like the perfect opportunity for them to kind of do what they're supposed to do. I always feel like spreads over 10 points in NFL games is like, that's a lot. You know what I mean? But the Bills have proven in games earlier in the season. I think they beat the Texans like 40-0 or something like that. And the spread was 16.5 or something in that game, if my mind's working right. I like the Bills to cover 12.5. There's a lot of times I do love points, but they don't have to travel too far in New York, and I like it.
Yeah. The Bills are one of the AFC powerhouses. And I mean, honestly, Vegas wouldn't have the spread this high if their simulations weren't projecting them to blow them out. I'd be taking Buffalo to cover as well.
Sweet. What you got next?
New Orleans and Tennessee. 2.5 is the spread. And I think you and I are both in agreement. This is one of the games like to hit on. I like Tennessee to cover 2.5 points. They are clicking right now.
I do too, and it's like I look at it and it's like I can kind of understand why the odds makers have it where it is. And it's like when I did my podcast with Cam Jordan, he said something in his hour span. I never went back and like spliced it up or cut it up for people, but he said that the Saints never really care who plays quarterback for them as long as the quarterback can score 10 points because he genuinely feels like the Saints defense is good enough to hold whoever under 10 points. And the more I look into this, I don't know if I love Tennessee as much as I did yesterday when we talked. And I just say that because I know Alvin Kamara is out. I know Simeon's in, but I don't really think Simeon and Winston, I think it's tomato. I think you don't get the deep ball, but I think you cut out some of the risk. I think Mark Ingram's a good runner, but it's just the Saints defense is what does it for me with no Derrick Henry. So in this one, I'm actually gonna go with Udat plus the points, while you take Tennessee to cover, because I just think that the New Orleans Saints defense is gonna give Ryan Tannehill a problem and expose him a little bit.
I see where you're coming from, and I'll give you the flip side of the coin with the Tennessee side, and I think the reason behind that is their pass rush is really starting to get it going, which is helping their secondary. They're creating some turnovers. We're talking about Trevor Siemian. Like they lost to the Falcons for a reason because they couldn't keep up. And now that Kamara's out, like we're just looking at Mark Ingram and Siemian. I'll tell you right now, my prediction for this game is that Taysom Hill's the quarterback in the second half. Siemian won't touch the field after the first half of the game.
So you're thinking is that your pick of the day, the Titans to cover?
Yeah, I mean Titans is tango with Tuna this week. Expect them to be up, and I do think that New Orleans is going to make it interesting come the second half because Taysom Hill is going to provide some fireworks, but Siemian will be out of the game come second half, and next week I'm going to tell you I told you so.
Oh, you're hilarious, bro. I love it. All right, what you got? What you got next?
Tampa and Washington. Tampa's favored by 9.5.
All right, Tampa covers. Let's move on.
Yep. Yeah, not too much love there. And then I've got Detroit and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's favored by 8.5 at home.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games I told you about. I mean, Pittsburgh's pretty banged up. They play really low scoring affairs. I mean, shit, bro. Detroit's got to get one. I mean, when the season started, there's no way in hell I thought they were going to be the worst team. I don't love Dan Campbell, but I don't not like him. And I just don't understand, I think, all the fact that they haven't won a game yet. That being said, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if Pittsburgh houses them because this is a good opportunity for Pittsburgh to, get another leg up. However, I personally think that the plus 8.5 is kind of a lot for a team like Pittsburgh who doesn't necessarily score like they used to. So I'm going to go with the Lions plus 8.5 here.
I just whenever I am seriously considering betting real United States dollars, it's really hard for me to go, yeah, you know what? I'm going to put it on Detroit. It's like I have a hard time doing that. And it's proven to be all right because if you took every money line this year against the Lions, you win. It's like, but I'll say this, 8.5 is kind of big for a team that doesn't score that much. I see where you're coming from. I just don't think Detroit's going to score that much either. I'll take Pittsburgh. Tally it up.
So you got Pittsburgh to cover the spread. I'm just curious. I'm gonna see if I can get their logs right here. Let's see schedule. I'm just curious how many games Pittsburgh has won by 10 this year. Let's
Or
see.
over 20 points. They don't score that much.
So week 1 they won against Buffalo, which is crazy, 23-16. And they lost to the Raiders, and they lost to Cincy. Oh, is that preseason? No, that's regular season. All right.
They're on
Green Bay,
they're on
they
a
lost.
3-game or 4-game win streak.
They beat the Broncos by 8. They beat the Seahawks by 3. They beat the Browns by 5. They beat the Bears by 2. I love the 8. I love the 8.5. I don't know why, bro. I think it's just.
Oh man. Yeah, it's not looking good, but hey,
Hey,
just
you
know
think
that
you think the move is loose?
And like I told you last week, or like I told you earlier in the show, dude, I don't always pick the winners, but I know who loses games, and Detroit loses games. So my pick's for Pittsburgh.
All right, dude. So do we have anything else at the 11 a.m. Slater in the morning games? Or I think we covered them all.
Yeah, I think we got it. Moving on to 2:00, I've got Minnesota and the Chargers. Spreads 3. Chargers are favored.
I actually see the over under here too. We haven't touched a lot on the games on like over unders and stuff. So I think both of us have just liked spreads here one way or the next. I'm actually loving the over of the 53.5. I don't necessarily. I mean, I feel like the easy pick is the Chargers at home, but the Vikings just show me that they're fiery and that like they're always an opportunity to score in 1 or 2 plays because Kirk Cousins really throws a good deep ball and can get it out there. So with an over under at 53.5, I lean towards the over in this game, and that's my pick that I like for this game.
Yeah, I like that pick too. And I'll say this about the Vikings. I think that they have a lot of talent, a lot of good players, and if they would just open things up and quit being so conservative, like they went from Gary Kubiak to Clint Kubiak as their offensive coordinator, and it's just so perplexing how they do the same thing every week. They just get so
over
complacent.
and over and over. Yeah, it's predictable.
Put your foot on the gas, like win a couple of games. Like this team loses by a score every week. It's sad, honestly.
It's
if I was
sad.
a Vikings fan, I'd be pissed. But I'll take the Vikings this week. You want the Chargers?
I'm gonna take the over for my pick, bro.
You against me. I've got Vikings money line.
All right, I mean, yeah, I'll take the Chargers. That's fine.
There.
But if you're betting on this game, I got the over.
Yeah, the over is pretty good. You're right. I think that could get a little spicy in that game. And then,
what you got the Cardinals game next?
Yeah, Nards Panthers, and gosh, I mean,
that spreads it 10.5, and we don't even know if Kyler Murray's playing or not. But the odds makers don't care.
They don't. And I mean,
do you care?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, the Panthers have just been stuck in neutral, dude, from an offensive perspective for a little while now, and the Cardinals defense is flying around. Like it's shocking to me. And I will just say this for the homers here in Arizona, I'm finally taking the Cardinals to cover. So you're welcome.
Well, here, let's do this then, just to have some fun. All right, I'm gonna go with the Panthers plus the points, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yes, please do. Please do.
The last time that I watched the Carolina Panthers come play the Arizona Cardinals, I was at the game, and Christian McCaffrey had an absolute monstrous day. But there's even one more reason that I'm going to go ahead and do it. Kyler Murray broke an NFL record that day, and you can go look this up. I don't know how I remember it, but I do. It's hilarious. It was against the Carolina Panthers last time they played. He completed 30 passes, bro. He had 31 completions for like 59 attempts. He only threw for 180 yards that day. He's the first quarterback to complete 30 passes for under 200. Now, all the things I drug Kyler Murray through, he's definitely a better quarterback than that. He definitely can get the ball downfield. I definitely think K1's good enough to win some football games. However, that is imprinted in my mind, and I can see Christian McCaffrey running down the field. The kid's supposed to be back this week and healthy. As long as Christian McCaffrey's in there, I'm going to go with Carolina to keep it, within at least 10, and then the half point gets you that. Kyler Murray comes back, though, and they confirm him in the game. Um, I'm going to lean Cardinals to whoop ass no matter what.
It's going to be tough, and I think it's funny you mentioned that the record that he set. To be honest with you, I blame a lot of that on late stage Larry Fitzgerald. Remember when they're throwing those screen passes and he's just stuck in the mud? Like, what are you doing? Like,
Hey, he's going to come back out of retirement when the Cardinals get in the playoffs.
Oh, it's perfect. Bring him in. He can wear the mascot, dude. He could be the Cardinal. That's perfectly fine. But he's cooked. Stick a fork in Larry. I love him, but he's done.
225.
Seattle, Green Bay. This is a good one. I mean, we got a couple quarterbacks coming back, and I'll be honest with you. The only difference I could see in this game, I like both offenses with those quarterbacks. Like, they score points. The difference is Green Bay's defense is good and Seattle's is not. And I would take Green Bay to cover the spread at home. After all that controversy, I think Aaron's going to come back kind of pissed and put it up on him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, usually I don't like, oh man, Russell Wilson, but it's like it's Aaron Rodgers too, right? And you make a good point. And the one thing I really like about Green Bay versus Seattle is the running game. I mean, A.J. Dillon has really come on in the second year this year, and really even more so the past couple of weeks. I didn't really think Aaron Jones could have somebody to take shit off of his plate, especially after getting his payday. But I mean, hell, here we are, and they seem to like that about the game. I think you're going to get a nice Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams connection. I actually really love the Packers too to cover that 3, regardless of what's going on now. For some reason, on God's green earth, Jordan Love gets in that game. I don't care if it's Geno Smith or Russell Wilson. I'm pounding the Seahawks. Jordan Love cannot move the football.
No, he's not going to play. They already confirmed Aaron in. He got activated.
I just said it. I'm just saying, if something happens where Jordan Love gets the rock, pound the other team. But shit, he covered against the Chiefs, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
No, bro. Jordan Love's a square, dude. They totally blew that. Like that, dude. I'd love to see him in our Turkey Bowl. We give him the business.
That's hilarious, bro. All right, Philly and Denver, bro. This is pretty much a pick 'em. The spread's 1.5 here. What do you like?
Yep. Denver. I don't know. I mean, there's not really too much to say. These teams, like, they don't strike me as contenders in any shape or fashion. But I'll say that Denver's got the better defense and better secondary, and I think they could give Jalen Hurts a little bit of fits. They only might score 13 points.
Denver has shown, even though the thing we can't discredit here, even though the Denver Broncos won 3 games early in the season against teams that aren't that good, they still won football games. It's still hard to go put together 3 weeks of wins worth in a row, right? And they've shown they can do that. Were they fired up off of Von Miller being gone and proving who they were last week so they beat the Cowboys? Maybe, but they can't have a hangover here where they just go back home and then lose to the Eagles after beating Dallas like that. I think they win both those games. They can feel good about going into week 11 and trying to build a back-end playoff run because the AFC is not that strong this year. And there's a lot of stuff that's untold. And I like the Broncos to win, and I don't hate them to find a way to get in the mix. Like you said, they've got a great running back core. They got a great defense. They're pretty young, I'm excited for what they've got in store, man. So I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah, no, they could be a team that sneaks into the wild card round and give people a little bit of fits with Baba spreading the ball around. But no, you're right. I think, and then just touching Javonte, I mean, Melvin Gordon's going to be a free agent next year. Watch out for that guy. I'm telling you right now, he's sick.
Where does Melvin Gordon land next year? Give me like 3 teams you think is possible off the top of your head. Do you have any idea? He's going to go be a share carrier. I think he could end up it's going to be hard for the Cowboys to keep Tony Pollard. I'll tell you that. He's on contract. I could see the Cowboys picking his ass up as a Tony Pollard replacement because Tony Pollard's going to get some bread. But anyways, that's a conversation for a different day. Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders in Vegas, Sunday night. Chiefs have to cover 2.5. Prime time. What you got?
Against all odds, I think this is the Chiefs coming out party. It's gotta be, dude.
We say it every week, though. I agree, though.
Honestly, we need Patrick to come out and throw for 400 yards for like so many reasons, to be honest. And dude, just push the ball down the field a little bit. Quit trying to be so cute. I mean, throw the ball under center a little bit. It's just they're only doing RPOs right now, and the league has caught on, and it's
Right.
just it's
Yeah,
messy, and
they
they
got to
just need
open
to
it up, man.
get
You know,
under
the
center.
thing is with the Chiefs this year, though, bro. Not having Clyde Edward-Helaire has proved out to hurt them a little bit more than I think they even realized. And I think or like having him be the player that he's been or was in the past helped them be able to run their offense a little differently. And I just think too that cohesively, look, Travis Kelsey doesn't look the same, man. I don't think he's like as healthy. He's not running around. He's still getting fantasy points, But I mean, when you watch the games, though, dude, there's a lot of drop passes out there. I would love to see them bounce back, but I just need to see it to believe it, man. I think that they're just ran thin right now. But if there's any team that I believe can turn it around and get back in contention conversation, it's them. Their personnel has not changed at all. The only thing they've done is added people. So as much as Kelsey doesn't look the same, as much as this, as much as that, they're the same team they were last year and the team before that and the year before that where they won a Super Bowl and got to the Super Bowl. There's some chemistry and a click or two away from, being a team that's in the conversation again, I feel like. So you're right. I love them to win by 2.5. I'd say just absolutely pound that.
They're just missing on some deep passes, man. It's coming. I'm telling you that once they start connecting, it'll be there. But Monday night, that's our last one. Niners, Rams.
This is another one of those games, man, that I feel like if you're down money and you need to get out of a hole, or if you're up and you're trying to buy extra Christmas presents, the Rams are there for you to just take it home.
Yeah.
Get yourself up, pay rent, get presents, do what you got to do. But I love the Rams to cover 3.5, bro. I love it.
And I mean, if you're feeling a little sketchy about it, you can even buy the hook. But honestly, you don't need to. You don't need to buy it down to 3. But I will say this, you're totally right. I actually just got the notification Bobby Trees is out for the season.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's out. Which kind of hurts, but I mean, they got Odell, so we'll see how that plays out. But you're right, I don't care. The Rams are better in every facet, and I think Shanahan's a little overrated. He's lost a lot of games at home.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean
lost credibility. He's lost everything, bro. Nobody wants to be dealing with Shanahan.
that home field advantage might be the worst in the NFL. The Niners don't win games at home, and they're just finding ways to lose. That I don't know. I'm with you. I mean, the Rams are going to come out and show out, especially
I
after
just
getting.
think, especially, it should be Von Miller's coming out party too, so he should have an opportunity to get snaps this game. And I just think, man, that's going to be something where it's just going to be way too much for them to be able to handle. I mean, like it's to have Aaron Donald and to have Von Miller and to have Jalen Ramsey to have to worry about. And then Matt Stafford probably looks as good as he's ever looked at quarterback, to be honest with you. I mean, or maybe it's not that, and it's just he's on the Rams this year on a good team, so it looks that way. But I mean, the dude is solid, bro. And you got Cooper Kupp, dude. Like as long as he's around, I don't care about Odell Beckham and like sorry for Robert Woods, but I don't really care too much about that either. Like as long as they got those two, their running back is they got what Sony Michelle and Daryl Henderson, bro. I mean, the Rams are poised to make a run regardless, bro. I love this game. The Rams 3.5. So before we let everybody leave, I want to do something with you. Let's go back through all the games that they have slated out. I want to give them a 3-leg parlay to bet tomorrow. Get this video out today. Hopefully they see it in time. Get them for them to bet tomorrow, a 3-leg parlay, all to cover the spread. Okay, so if we give them 3 to cover the spread, I already know for a fact $10 will win you 60, or 100 will win you 600, or 1,000 will win you 6,000. 3 teams to cover the spread. Let's start back in the morning games. What's something that really sticks out to you, and we'll see if I agree or not.
Morning games, spreads. Gosh, I mean, I know we were a little bit split on Cleveland and New England, so we won't go there. Man, mine would be I really would want Tennessee in there. I mean, that's my pick for this week, just because I don't think that New Orleans is going to be doing too much on offense. But I know you
What do you
don't
think
like
about
that.
Tampa? What do you think about Tampa Bay to cover 9.5 against Washington? I mean, do you think that there's any chance they stay within 10 points of Tom Brady?
Not really. No. Let's yeah, we could toss Tampa in there.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's go with Tampa. Tampa at 11, and then do you see anything? Let's go with the 2 o'clock games. I mean, we've got the Cardinals, the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Packers. Which one of
You know who
those
it
do
is.
you really?
You know who it is. It's Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love Green Bay to cover 3 at home.
Yep.
And then now here's the question, bro. Do we both love the Chiefs and the Rams so much that we just go Chiefs, Rams, Packers, and then just toss out that Bucks game, or do we love the Bucks so much we tell them to take a 4-leg parlay?
No, no, we don't love the Bucks that much. Honestly, they've got. I mean, betting against Tom is just dumb. You don't do that.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
But the spreads are there for a reason, and I mean, honestly, Heineke gave them a little bit of a run in the playoff game last year, so he might be feeling this weird sense of confidence where they keep it within 7. And I would hate to lose a parlay on that. But I'll say this: I
So then
think
let's. You want to do
boot
should we
Tampa.
tell 'em? Yeah, I agree.
Boot Tampa, take the Packers, take the Chiefs, and take the Rams. And those are your
All
3
the
teams.
cover.
And you'll be happy. I mean, it'll give you a little something to look forward to. You know what I mean? After
And
those
then you
morning
can't
games.
have a bad you can't have a bad morning because you're gonna go into the afternoon, have something to look forward to, and then that hits, you're gonna be able to go into the evening, and then you're gonna be able to have a fun Monday and then clean up Monday night. So um yeah, I think that's a great take. Well, that was fun, man. We covered the whole Sunday. We'll tally everything up and probably do something like this again next week. This was cool and beneficial and fun, bro.
Yeah, it was just a nice little coverage on pretty much everything you could think of, and yeah, bro, it was nice chop and shop, and let's make some money this weekend, huh?
I'll see you on the golf course tomorrow morning, buddy.
Later, brother.
See ya.